Former KISS guitarist Vinnie Vincent is yet again letting his fans down after canceling another appearance in the United States. Vinnie was set to perform on October 24th and 25th at the Chiller Theater, but apparently this appearance is a no-go, as per recent word from the venue. The Chiller Theater put out this post reading, quote, "Sorry, Vinnie Vincent has pulled himself out of the Chiller show. We feel sorry for all the KISS fans that were coming to meet him." And of course, the comments are being quite scathing against Vinnie. This one reads, "The Vinnie Vincent evasion," while the next says, "No surprise, it is Auntie Vinnie's bingo night." Mike in the comments says, "Vinnie's dad should have done the same thing, pulled out," with others questioning if anyone really bought that he was going to show up in the first place. Now, there's a lot of things I could say about Vinnie Vincent, and quite frankly have said about Vinnie Vincent over the years, but ultimately it seems that nothing is ever good enough for Vinnie Vincent, which to me is just quite laughable. I mean, when we're talking about a guy whose last time being relevant was in the early 80s, we see a lot of guys scraping by in this business. We see a lot of guys who are sort of clinging on to the glory days, but the guys who do that, they manage to do it with some sort of dignity, and dare I say a level of humility that Vinnie Vincent does not have. These guys that you see at these appearances, these guys that you see still dressing up as characters from the 80s, these are obviously dudes who need the money. Very few people are Gene Simmons or Paul Stanley. Very few people are going to keep getting dressed up in a costume just because they feel like going out and doing it that day. Now, the reason I say Gene and Paul in that scenario is because Gene and Paul obviously don't need the money. You know, a guy like Alice Cooper obviously does not need the money. Those guys may have the luxury to cancel an appearance, to not like the way it was set up, to not like the promo. A guy like Vinnie Vincent, on the other hand, I feel like we need to be siding more towards the humble attitude. Mr. Vincent. I don't know if he goes by Mr. anymore. I have a feeling that Vinnie Vincent, since he made his comeback and started coming back into the public eye, I have a feeling he has the perception that he's awfully important. I have a feeling that Vinnie really believes his own hype. Vinnie might actually believe in 2025 that he is an actual celebrity. I hate to break it to you, Vinnie, but nobody knows who you are, okay? You go down the street in the general population and general public, you ask 10 people who Vinnie Vincent is, you would be hard-pressed to find one individual who even knows this guy. Because Vinnie Vincent is not a big name. He's not a household name. This is not a person that people generally know. If you're outside of the world of KISS, even general rock fans probably don't know Vinnie Vincent. So if you have an appearance booked in 2025, which is hard to do, by the way, it's hard to get people out of the house after the pandemic. It's hard to get people to spend their hard-earned cash. Now, Vinnie, if you're able to do that, if you're able to get people in line, money in hand, I highly recommend that you treat that opportunity with the level of respect it deserves, because you are not a household name, and it's not 1983 anymore. But my point here is this: the lack of respect, the ego, the sense of entitlement is absolutely out of control. And I don't want to come out the gate being nasty towards Vinnie. I don't necessarily want to make it seem like this is an attack. This is not an attack, though, my friends. This is what you would call a reality check. This is a reality check for Mr. Vinnie Vincent. Paging Dr. Vincent. It's not 1983 anymore. You're not relevant enough to be getting away with this. By the way, let me just add, nobody was really into this kind of behavior when rock stars were even able to get away with it. You know, that era has passed. The era of Axl Rose and not showing up to the concerts and walking up on stage and smashing the microphone, and there's green M&Ms in my backstage catering. People are kind of sick of those attitudes, Mr. Vincent. People are sick of those attitudes. They're sick of the entitlement. So this would be my only word to Vinnie Vincent. It's sort of a cautionary tale. If you want to live off what you did in the early 80s, if you want to capitalize off of KISS, it's probably in your best interest to do so. However, you're not going to go very far with it if you don't appreciate the fans. And I would highly recommend appreciating those fans, because most fans are not going to be as real with you as I am. Most fans are not going to tell you these things, but that's why I'm here. Cassius Morris to the rescue, everybody. That's my job, and that's why these guys don't like me. That's why Vinnie doesn't like me. That's why Vinnie doesn't want to do my interview when we've communicated about it before. It's like a Batman and the Joker, you know. We need each other. We need each other in this thing to get by, because it's just too much fun. So we need each other, Vinnie.